Hey guys, we're back here at the Airbnb after the first stop of the Bassmaster College Tour here at Lake Norman, North Carolina. Daniel's going to get us started by talking about how practice went for all of us.
So heading into Lake Norman, we knew that it was going to be a numbers lake. We had an idea from the research we'd done that the southern end was going to be more plentiful bites, while the northern end was larger fish and possibly some largemouth. Going into practice, Monday, Tuesday, part of Wednesday, it was pretty rough. We had a lot of rain, a lot of snow, and sleet. And so with all that combined, it made for a tough practice, but we were able to go to a few places that we were able to see a couple followers and get a couple key bites to key us in. Specifically, some docks in deeper water, 10 to 15 foot range, and some rock piles and steep edges where there was at least a 5 to 10 foot drop off where we were able to find those fish.
Yeah, so at the end of our last day of practice, we actually saw a bank on our new HDS Lives with the Navionics chip that had some really sharp contour lines. We pulled up to it, caught a fish really quick, caught another one really quick, had one that picked it up and swam off. We left that bank alone. So that was our go-to spot. It was really the first pattern that we had picked up all week. We went there the first day and there was nothing going on whatsoever at all. So we scrapped that completely. We managed to salvage up 2 fish at the end of the day. We didn't get our first bite until I think 12:30 in the afternoon. It was a tough day 1. We came out day 2 with the mentality that we were just going to go back to that area, pick it apart, work it slow, and just spend all day just trying to grind out 5 good bites. We got the bites today. We didn't capitalize. It's how it goes. But I do want to talk for a second about what we caught them on. The number 1 bait for us was a Missile Baits micro jig, and it was green pumpkin in the 1/8 size. And the trailer that we were using was the melon cinnamon purple, and it was just deadly for us. We had to work really slow, almost just let it sit still for 10 seconds at a time, painfully slow. Today, 2 of our key fish came off of a drop shot. We had a Wu Tungsten weight on the bottom. We had our Trocar Helix with the bomb shot in the Gobi bite color. That was key for us today. Unfortunately, we couldn't boat all the good bites that we got, but it was a great experience all in all. We're ready to get back after it at Smith Lake.
This is the Ned rig that we caught all of our fish on. It's just a watermelon red color. We thought that the red added a little bit to the craw pattern for early spring. And so all of the fish, as Daniel said, were coming off of rocks and docks about 10 to 15 feet of water. The first day we had about 8 pounds, 15 ounces. And we were feeling pretty good. We culled a few times. We caught a lot of fish. And then the second day we went into it hopeful to catch a limit quick in the same areas, and unfortunately the bite just dried up. We tried running around to a few different spots that we had in mind, and we just couldn't get on them all day. Looking back on it now though, with hindsight being 2020, the initial spot we went to, we caught a lot of fish on the day before, and we only fished it for probably about 15 minutes because there were other boats around and we just weren't feeling it. And that was definitely a mistake because we talked to many boats who caught multiple keeper largemouth off that specific area. And so we should have stayed there and tried to grind it out. But the second day we ended with about 4 pounds for a total of about 13 pounds. So we were happy with what we were fishing. We felt like we figured out a pattern and we were confident with the baits that we were throwing. We also had to throw very slow and subtle bites just because the fish were so finicky. Lastly, I just want to give a shout out to Dobbins. I personally have about 10 Dobbins rods. I've switched all my rods to Dobbins just because I totally rely on being able to trust these rods. I didn't miss any fish. I was able to set the hooks cleanly and bring all the fish in with no problems, and so thank you to Dobbins for that.
Yeah, so obviously the weights were down this week. We had a tough time out there. A lot of people had a tough time, but obviously we're gonna root for the local guys here. We're gonna root for the guys that we know. Congratulations to everybody that's fishing tomorrow and that's going to the national championship. It's a huge accomplishment. April 6th, we've got our first fundraiser tournament as a part of the Wetline Productions Charity Bass Series. We're really excited. We hope to see everybody there. It's going to be at Hopewell Marina on the James River. We'll be there bright and early. Come see us. Come support. It's going to be a great time. This video is going to be brought to you guys by Ray Olson Financial. They're great people over there, and they help us out a lot. They're our new sponsor for 2019.